There are 9 bosses in Half Sword. Meet each one as you finish a tier in the Half Sword Gauntlet and beat it to move on. Each one has their own style. Helmet Head with his iconic metal head, Militia Boss with his spiky stick, and of course the Baron with his many, legal troubles, or, allegations. But the question is raised, which boss is the best of Half Sword? Thus, I welcome you to Half Sword Fight Club, a tournament to decide the ultimate boss of Half Sword. 9 bosses and 1 winner. Before we start, here are the rules. Now the first rule of Half Sword Fight Club is you do not talk about Half Sword Fight Club. The second rule, you do not talk about Half Sword Fight Club. I'm looking at you, Helmet Head. I'm looking at you. The third rule of Half Sword Fight Club is the fights go until someone goes limp or says sway me kindness. Then the fights stop. Fourth, only 2 bosses to a fight. Fifth, 1 round only. There are no redos in Half Sword Fight Club. If you lose once, you are out of the tournament entirely. 6, after every tier, there will be an intermission amateur fight. These have no sway on the tournament itself. And finally 7th, there are 9 of you, and only 8 spaces on the tournament bracket. Thus, to make it fair, I put your names onto this wheel I found on a free website online, and I'll spin it and get 2 names. These will be our first fighters, and we'll decide who is immediately kicked off the tournament. The rest of you will be put onto the bracket at random via the wheel. Now with all that said, this is the Half Sword Fight Club. And welcome everyone to Half Sword Fight Club. I'm your host, Mr.zacnono, and I'm followed by my co-host here, the Baron? How did you get in here? The flesh has no form and you can take many. Classic Baron humor. Now Baron, who do you think has the highest chance to win today's tournament? I think my money's on the Militia Boss. What about you? Now, let's not keep the people waiting. We've got to spin that wheel and get to our first fight. And the wheel is being spun, and for our first contender, we have... Is this going to be the Night Boss? No! The Man-at-Arms Boss going into the first elimination fight. Now, going against him will be... That looks like it's... Oh, that's not... Oh, that's terrible. Oh, that's not good news for him. Oh, it's gonna be the Beggar Boss. Oh, that's terrible. Oh, that's really not good for him. Okay, well, that's gonna be a quick fight. And here we have our first fight for the day. The Man-at-Arms Boss versus the Beggar Boss. Now this fight will probably end in a very quick fashion. Of course, maybe the Helmet Head can pull off an upset win here. Now, without further ado, here is the first fight of Half Sword Fight Club. Right off the bat, both men charging in. Looks like they're trying to gauge some distance. The Man-at-Arms Boss is prodding a little bit with that poleaxe. They're both prodding. Some good hits from the Beggar Boss. Wouldn't expect that. It seems like the Man-at-Arms Boss is being a little bit too cautious, but he is still getting those little taps here and there, but he's letting the Beggar Boss have a better opportunity than he should. But now that spike's getting into the legs. Big hit on the right arm from the Militia Boss. Another big hit. Still just a bit of a back and forth. It looks like they're both locked up. Big hit overhead. It's a lot closer than I thought it would be. Both men just going back and forth, but it looks like that spike is again getting towards the Beggar Boss's neck. Again, still not a defined winner here. I wouldn't have expected this. Both men just still pushing back and forth. There's really not a lot to say here. Both men, I'm very surprised at how long this fight is going on. This should have been an over and done, but it feels like the Man-at-Arms Boss is very, very cautious with his moves, despite the fact that he should just push in with that spike and have it done with, but a big overhead from him there. Again, doing a lot of nasty work on that right arm of the Beggar Boss, but again, another hit there. Slowly whittling him away. And he's got him. It looks like, oh no, he doesn't. He had him a little bit there, but he's dazed. The bigger boss is dazed, but he's still not out. That was a back and forth there. Another big hit onto the right arm. Both men, and it looks like the bigger boss is down. He is going limp. And that is all she wrote. He's not getting up. He is getting up! He is! He's back down. Again, we're gonna give him a minute here to get back up. He's not completely limp. Okay, he's completely limp. I don't think he's getting back up. Yeah, yep, he's given up his weapon. That is it. He's gone. He's saying, sway me kindness. And we have our winner, the Man-at-Arms boss. Congratulations, Man-at-Arms boss. You are moving up to the next tier. Now to fill out the rest of the bracket, we'll need to spin and figure out who's fighting who. For our first fight, we have the Baron. Well, the Baron. Now, Baron, how do you feel about going up in the second fight of the tournament? What do you think about your opponent? Do you think you're going to be able to take it? Okay, can we stop with that? Can somebody get him like an inhaler? Now, Baron, let's figure out who's going to be in the rest of the fights for this tournament. Now, for our third fight and our second of the second tier, it's going to be, it looks like, the Militia Boss. And going against the Militia Boss will be... This seems to be the... Peasant? Oh, it's right on the line. It is going to be the Peasant Boss. That is what WillPicker.com has decided. Third fight of the second tier, it is going to be... It looks like the Soldier Boss, and the Soldier Boss will be going against... Oh, he's got some pretty tough competition unless he gets that Commoner, and he's going against the Night Boss. Okay, that'll be a pretty fair fight. And for our final bout, we will have the Veteran Boss versus the Commoner Boss. I don't need to spin this, do I? I don't need to spin the wheel, do I, Mr. Baron? You're not saying anything now. I'm gonna take that as a no, everyone. He's not saying a word. Now, before we kick off the tournament right, we have our first interlude fight. Again, after finishing every tier, we will have one of these. These ones don't have to apply to the normal rules of the Fight Club tournament. As you can see here, we have a 3-on-3. I felt bad for Helmet Head and decided to give him a bit more of an equal fight. And this fight is going to take backstage, outside of the arena. Again, this shows how these interlude fights are going to go. They aren't going to follow the rules, and they may have some zany locations. I know zany's a stupid word. I know. Let's get this first interlude fight underway. And right off the bat, Helmet Heads take a strong attack pushing forward. A big hit already on one of the Peasant Bosses. He's done for. He's out. Right now we've got a 3-on-2. Both are trying to fight. It's now a 3-on-2. They're cornering the one Peasant Boss in the back. Okay, now we've got a 2-on-1. It seems like they're trying to isolate them. I'm not sure exactly what they're trying to do, frankly speaking, but one of the other Peasant Bosses has given up. And now we just have a 1-on-3. Another bigger boss has given up. The Peasant Boss has lost his weapon. He is still fighting, though. He's got out his small scythe. He's trying his best. The axe is in the head, though. The axe is in the head, and that is it. But yet, the bigger bosses also gave up at the very end. And bigger bosses, I'm going to give you this win. Despite the fact that you surrendered at the end, you win this one. You may have lost in the tournament, but hey, you've won in our hearts in our first Backstage Brawl. Congratulations to the bigger bosses. And now we have our first real fight of the tournament. The Man-at-Arms boss versus the Baron. Now, one interesting fact about these two fighters is that actually the Baron, despite being, according to the game, the same size as the Man-at-Arms boss, he stands about a head taller than any other boss in this. Both guys are pretty well armored, but will that save them in the fight? Here we go. Baron versus Man-at-Arms. Both men get off to a nice start, but a little timid there. There's probably going to be a lot of prodding here until one big hit just like that will just take them down. Baron going for a two-handed grip on his poleaxe, pushing in. And again, the Man-at-Arms boss does have a pole hammer, so that could help him if he can get a good knock-in, but... he can wind up that strike and just get a big hit in. But I don't know. This one I think is pretty equally matched and could go on for some time, frankly speaking. Ooh, big kick to the groin there from the Baron. That's dirty, but again, that's not against the rules. But he has been known to play dirty. Just same thing as his dirty allegations. We're not supposed to discuss it, but, you know, everybody knows it happened, and I think it's sickening that nobody's speaking up. Anyway. Both men still going at it, both men being timid, but the Man-at-Arms does look a little woozy. He's starting to look a bit tired. Ooh, almost a drag down there from the Baron, and I'm seeing a bit of blood on the ground there. That seems to be coming from the Man-at-Arms boss, not sure from where. Probably from the groin or the thigh. He's got him backed up against the wall here. Both men again just battering back and forth. No big hit just yet, but there's one right there from the Baron, right on the noggin, but he's not capitalizing on it. Still being a bit too timid. I'm telling you, these guys with armor, it seems like they're pretty scared to push in, but another big hit there. If he could just follow it up, that seems to be it. The Baron has won. He's trampling the Man-at-Arms boss. He's trampling him, but the Man-at-Arms boss isn't done yet. He's not done yet. He went limp. He went down, but yet he is not out. I'm going to let the fight carry on again. This is up to my discretion. Some people are going to say, Mr. Zacnono, you're rigging this against the Baron. So be it. I don't think it matters, though. If the Baron can again just capitalize. But who knows if that Man-at-Arms boss can just stick that sword right into a nice fleshy bit of the Baron. We may have... no, the helmet's off. He just knocked the helmet off of the Man-at-Arms boss. I'm calling it there. That is a win for the Baron. Congratulations, Baron. Baron, leave him alone. Baron, stop. Baron, he's dead. Baron, I said stop the fight. Stop it. Stop fighting him. Stop it. Somebody pull him off. Somebody pull him off. Get security. Security. He's trying to attack the stands. And now we have our next matchup. The Militia boss versus the Peasant boss. Now, I will give an edge to the Militia boss with that nasty, spiky plançon. He probably will take an easy win here, and as well with that little bit of armor, that's definitely going to help him. But of course, who knows? The Peasant boss may give a nice upset here. What do you think about it, Baron? Okay, alright, that's enough of that. Let's get this fight on. This is the Militia boss versus the Peasant. And right off the bat, we have a nice running start from both of them. And already, it looks like the Peasant boss is on the back foot. The Militia boss has got some nice thrust coming in. Definitely trying to take him out. Pop on the head again. Is he already down? He's taken a stance. Yeah, that seems to be it. That's going to be completely it. He is down on the ground, completely obliterated by the Peasant boss. I can't even hear. He's just walking away. But talk about a relatively easy win for the Militia boss. To be expected, and I've got big hopes for the Militia boss. And with the death of the Peasant boss, that leaves only the Commoner boss to be the only unarmored boss left in the tournament. Can he pull off an upset against the Veteran tier? We will find out just after. And the Soldier and Knight boss we have. Now the Soldier stands pretty tall and has a long reach with that nasty halberd. And that halberd, let's take a look at that. You have 3 ways of attack there on the back, the front, and the top. As long as he can maintain some distance, I think he'll deliver a nasty blow to the Knight. Now, of course, the Knight with his axe and shield combination, he's a force to be reckoned with. However, he doesn't seem to have a lot of good offense. But that might change here. But he is definitely a tank that could be busted open by that halberd. But without further ado, here is the Soldier versus the Knight. Both men moving in pretty quick. Again, oh, that's not good for the Soldier, as he is closing the distance, but now he's actually got a pretty good reach, seems to be right perfectly on top of the knight's head. However, the knight is doing a good job at defending, which is what we expected to see from the knight. He's a pretty defensive fighter. That thick armor and that big shield do pose a big issue, and these fights can go on pretty long. But he has lost his axe. The soldier boss has taken down the knight boss's axe, but now he's got out a sword, which is, I think, frankly, even worse for the soldier boss. A lot more surface area to get a little slice in. And with the soldier boss's frail body and those nice open fleshy areas, that could pose an issue for him. But as long as he can get a good knock on the head, that would definitely save him, but I don't think we're going to see it here, frankly speaking. I'm seeing a bit of blood thrown in the air, a bit of blood on the ground, but I'm not sure whose blood it is. Both men backed up against the barrier. Ooh, and a good hit from the soldier boss onto the noggin of the knight. Again, just slowly prodding forward with that halberd, but it doesn't seem to be doing much, soldier. You got to get those big overhead swings. Just like that. But every time he tries to get that swing, it seems like the night boss is there to answer his attack. I'm not sure what the night boss is trying to do. Trying to play a little bit too timid. Both men are in a stalemate. A stare-off. Look at that. Ugh. Sigma energy coming from both men. Now, of course, if you do want to buy the night boss's Sigma Male course pack, you can, of course, in the description. He's got a great course. I think it's 5,000 per semester. 5,000 what? I don't know. He wouldn't answer me on that one. Both men just again going back and forth. A bit of a slow fight here. Trying to feel each other out. It feels like the soldier boss actually has a chance here if he would just stop bitching around and actually fight. Oh, but we do have a slice in the armpit. Still slowly just getting the soldier boss whittled little by little. Seems like the night boss's conservative play is actually working out pretty well here. Both men again, still fighting out. Let's get a nice little wide shot of both of them fighting it out here. Again, we're not seeing much. Again, soldier boss is backed up against the barrier, but still nothing to really be seen. Again, we may be cutting here and there because, frankly speaking, this fight is going on a little bit too long. Every once in a while, the soldier boss will get a nice little knock, but he does not capitalize on it. He's not following it up. If he gets 2 or 3 back-to-back head hits, he would take down the night boss pretty handily. Otherwise, he's going to give the night boss a better chance every time to take him down. Ooh, a nice hit there, I think, on the night boss. Saw a little bit of blood there. Okay, it seems to be getting a bit more aggressive, but a slice on the arm there from the night boss to the soldier. Seems like his left arm, his left eye, his left arm has been hit. That's the soldier boss, I mean. A big hit from the soldier boss on the night boss, but yet again, he just won't capitalize on the hits. He seems to just be a bit too timid. He seems to be getting those hits in. He's trying to capitalize the double hit there, but blocked by the night boss. So, Baron, you got any plans for this weekend? Ah, that sounds pretty good. That costs a lot to do? Ah, okay, it's pretty affordable. Okay. Well, that's nice to know. You know what's not affordable? These guys fighting. This is like watching paint dry. These two fighting. I am on the verge of disqualifying them both. But it looks like... Oh! We finally have a bit of action here. They have gotten one injured. It looks like the soldier boss is injured on his left hand. His left arm is debilitated. The night boss is starting to be a bit more aggressive now, pushing in. This is almost called for the night boss. If he would push in! Push in! I'm yelling from the stands. He's not hearing me. Baron, yell at him. Okay, he's not doing anything. Again, we're seeing some hits here. I'm on the verge of telling these two guys to stop it, and I'm going to call a winner here. This is clearly in the night boss's favor, but Jeez Louise, I'm gonna let it go on for a little bit more. We have gone for about 9 minutes this fight. But every time I say that, he seems to get another hit in, just to give me some hope that he's finally gonna finish him off. But I can't take a hit every 3 minutes, Night Boss. You need to finish off the soldier. Another slice there. Oh, and we have another slice again. Again, there's your once every 3 minute slice. And again, another slice. That's beautiful. Is he going down? He looks pretty woozy. I think one more hit might do in the soldier boss. We might finally have a victor here. Night Boss, push in. Night Boss, I demand it. Good, good, another good hit there. In the arm, things are ramping up just a little bit. I'm gonna die of old age before these guys finish this fight. Oh wow, another tap on the head. Let's watch that for the next 18 minutes. It's going on for 18 minutes. A slice on the arm. Literally 18 minutes. I'm not being hyperbolic. It's actually gone on for 18 minutes. You think like, oh no, he's exaggerating. No. Actually, it's gone on for 18 minutes. He is completely winded. He is not fighting, nor even really defending himself. This is masochistic what the soldier boss is doing to himself. He is winded. He's not even throwing a single hit. He is not fighting in Fight Club. But it looks like we finally, I cannot believe it, after 20 minutes, we have a winner. And that is the Night Boss that was determined probably by minute 2. But finally, the soldier boss has given up. He's screaming, sway me kindness. He's going limp. That is given to the Night Boss. Night Boss, how do you feel after that win? His head is kind of caved in a little bit. I don't think he knows where he is. And now for a fight that I think will be an exciting one. We have the Commoner versus the Veteran Boss. Again, the Commoner is our last completely unarmored boss left on this list. That nasty greatsword of his will certainly go well against the Veteran Boss. Now, of course, the Veteran Boss has a lot of good armor, and that mace can be pretty nasty if it crashes into the Commoner Boss's noggin. But, of course, he has his noggin completely open, which is his fatal weakness. He's got a lot of defense with that full-body Pavash shield, but I don't know if it'll help him against the Commoner Boss. Let's get it on. This is the Veteran versus the Commoner Boss. Immediately, it looks like the Veteran Boss decided to go off to a little bit of an angle, a little bit of a distraction, got a nice nasty hit on the Commoner Boss's head. I don't think I completely expected this. I don't really expect the Veteran to win, but he's getting some good hits in. But all the Commoner Boss has to do is get a little slice on that noggin of his, and then he is done for. Some good back and forth. Good hits again. Looks like the Veteran is whittling down the Commoner. Again, all that has to happen is just one little tap on that noggin of the Veteran, and he is out. So it's sort of like, go for it, or don't, and I think we almost had a little slice there, but I'm not seeing any blood on the sword. Nope, we do have a slice on the head. A small one. They're backed up in the back left corner. Don't pay attention to that man on the ground over there. He has nothing to do with this fight. But the Commoner Boss is pretty woozy. Can the Veteran capitalize on it? A good hit again. He's got him backed up into the corner, and it looks like he's going down. He's got him shoved into the corner. He hasn't given up his sword yet. I'm not calling it just yet. I'm gonna give the Commoner a chance. It looks like he's not completely limp. He's got a little bit of stiffness. And he's trying to get back up. He's trying to get back up. He's trying his best, but it looks like he's stuck in the back corner. He's dropped his weapon. And here we have your winner, the Veteran Boss. Something that I did not expect, because half the time this guy's completely useless. but the commoner boss has been... the commoner boss has been shoved into the corner here and is currently being hounded upon by the veteran. Commoner boss, you fought well for a man with no armor, but it looks like the veteran's moving on to the next tier. And here we have our standings for the first real tier of the Half-Sword Fight Club. The Baron beat the Man-at-Arms boss, moving up and going to be fighting the Militia boss, which could be an interesting lineup. I think the Militia boss does have a minor chance if he can get a nice strike in with the Plançon. But of course, another fight that I'm not really looking forward to is the Knight versus the Veteran. Frankly speaking, I'm rooting for the Veteran here, but again, he's got that fatal weakness of that noggin. One little hit, and the Veteran's out. But of course, before we move on to this tier, we're going to have our second interlude fight. And for our second interlude fight, you might notice that the arena is almost completely empty. That's because our fight will be taking place outside the bounds of the arena. Now, if we turn and look into the back left corner here, we can see our arena for this second interlude. And that's going to be the Pillar. The Pillar is a small square pillar on the outside of each of the arena's corners. Now this pillar has two dangers. Of course, we have our fatal four-way, a free-for-all, a 1v1v1v1 between 4 knights, 2 red and white striped knights, and 1 blue knight and a yellow knight. But of course, these guys are not fighting with each other, they're going to be fighting against each other. Now not only are they a danger to each other, but there's the chance to fall off the pillar, either into the terrible, terrible blue abyss, or of course onto the white block. But without further ado, this is the second interlude, a fight I've looked forward to all of Fight Club, the Pillar fight. And immediately we're right off to the start. Looks like everybody's testing the edges there. Yellow Knight's trying to force off Blue Knight, but they both fall off. No! The Yellow Knight's still clinging onto the roof just by a little. The other Striped Knight has fallen down. The other Striped Knight has also fallen. I don't know who won that. It looks like both Striped Knights have fallen. Is this the Blue Knight or the Yellow Knight? I'm not sure. There's something going on in the dark of this roof right here. I'm not sure exactly who's winning this. I think we might have to have a redo here. It looks like everybody's fallen off. I'm not sure. I think the Yellow Knight may have won that, but... Blue Knight, are you okay? Oh no, he's not okay. He's dangling by his leg. He's not fine at all. But I think we're going to have to give that to the Yellow Knight, but I am going to run that one more time just to see if we can get a decisive winner there. And here we have take 2 of the Pillar fight. We have a red striped knight, a blue shield knight, and 2 red and blue shield knights. Of course, because we have lost the other guys, they have all unfortunately fallen down to the blue abyss, but let's see if we can get a decisive winner this time. Both men again. Oh, it looks like we have a little bit of a fight now on our hands. Again, they're pushing to that back right corner. Nobody's fallen off just yet, but it looks like one of the red and blue knights have fallen down onto the roof. Oh, the red striped knight is also falling off, and they've both fallen down. I don't think we're going to get a decisive winner here. It looks like everybody's unconscious or in a state of daze. So I think we're just going to have to call this one a no contest winner. Though if we wanted to give one decisive winner, we can give it to Yellow Shield from the first fight. So that is the Pillar fight. Now for our first fight of the semifinals, we have the Militia boss with his nice spiky Plançon, but not very well armored body, and the Baron's corporeal form. Now the Baron is of course well armored, but one good knock from that Plançon onto his noggin could take him out, and he's not exactly that skillful with his poleaxe. But again, size does matter in the arena, so we may see a Baron win here. Immediately, we have a little bit of a timid start, but a big hit from the Baron right under the noggin of the Militia boss, and he's down. Is this going to be a full out? He's trying to wiggle away. It looks like he might be trying to get back up. He's just fisticuffing it. He's got out his axe. That was a big hit and a slice on the thigh, and that might be all she wrote for the Militia boss. Another hit to the leg. The left or the right leg is broken. He's down on the ground screaming. The Baron has won yet again. Congratulations, Baron, for a very easy and decisive victory. Militia Boss, frankly, I had higher hopes for you. Also, I'm a big fan of this beat that the Baron's poleaxe is making by knocking into the wood here. Yeah, Baron. Yeah. Go, Baron. Yeah. We like the Baron. Yes. We like the Baron. Uh-huh. Look, he's stomping his feet to the song. Look at him. He is like a raging bull. And here we have our second semi-final fight. The Knight versus the Veteran. The Veteran realizes what he is up against, and frankly speaking, he doesn't have good odds here. But if he can get that mace to work, he might have a chance. And of course, that big shield's gonna help him out, but that noggin certainly does not. And the Knight, of course, has probably the best odds here with all of that armor, a completely sealed up head. But again, he doesn't have a lot of great offense, so maybe the Veteran can exploit that. But without further ado, here is the fight to the finals. Who is going to be fighting the Baron for the ultimate Half-Sword Fight Club Championship? Let's see it. Both men again. A little timidity from the Knight. Big pop on the face, but it doesn't look like it even phased the Veteran, but those big overhead swings certainly might. This isn't boding well for the Veteran, but a good knock there from the Veteran might do him some good. Again, he's got to get a big hit with the mace. The Veteran's already taken a big hit there. He's got the mace in the two hands. If he can deliver some good crushing power, he might win this. But every time that Knight raises his axe, there's just that chance for it to come crashing down on his noggin. And another big hit on the forehead there. Still not enough to penetrate just deeply. Again, we're hoping for an upset here, but I think we might not get it. Now, Baron, what do you think? Do you think he still has a chance? I don't even know what that means. Again, some back and forth action here. Again, it looks like the Veteran just keeps having that mace a little bit too low. But again, a good hit on the right side of his head, and he's down. Has he given up, though? Oh! It looks like the Knight is just going after him, and we've got a person yelling, "Sway me kindness." That is a win for the Knight boss, and he is moving on to the finals to face the Baron. And again, here we have our standings for the board. Right now, it is going to be the Baron versus the Knight after the loss from the Militia boss and the Veteran boss. Not really an unexpected finale. A bit of an underwhelming one, I'll say so. Of course, I'm sure the Baron's not that upset about it. Isn't that right, Baron? Yeah, I'm pretty excited for this championship bout. I hope it goes well for the Baron in the end. You can talk? Now, for our third and final interlude, we have a sort of loser's fight. Team 1 consists of the Soldier, Veteran, and Man-at-Arms boss. Team 2 consists of the Militia, Commoner, Peasant, and Beggar boss. A sort of low-tier bosses versus the high-tier bosses. Now, of course, the low-tier bosses have more people, and they do have the Plançon, but the high-tier bosses do have that armor that's going to come in pretty handy in this fight. Right off the bat, they're both pushing in a little timid. The Beggar boss gets a big hit right off the bat, but nobody seems to be too injured. Peasant boss is locked up. No downs just yet. There's some blood on the ground, but I'm not sure from where. The Beggar boss is taking on the Man-at-Arms boss by himself. The Commoner boss is getting in there. Peasant boss is down via the Soldier boss. Man-at-Arms and the Commoner are going at it. We've got a one-on-one-on-one. Everybody's taking on an opponent of their own. The Peasant is crying in the middle of the arena. I think the Beggar's taking some damage there, but it looks like he's still going. The Man-at-Arms has... No, the Veteran has dropped his shield. Thus nobody has a shield now. The Plançon and the Halberd are locked up over there to the left. Bit of a slugfest right in the middle. And it looks like the Commoner tries to help out, or is considering helping out the Beggar. But the Beggar's slowly getting woozy, and so is the Plançon. Seems pretty handily that the armored men are actually going to win this. Oh, and the beggar's down. Didn't even notice it. The beggar is down. And it looks like the Planson might be following suit. The beggar's actually ran out of the arena. He's gotten behind the barrier. He's not having any part of it. He doesn't want what's happening to the Planson boss to happen to him. And now it's just up to the commoner to try and pull off an ace here of sorts. Winning against the entire team, but it doesn't look like he will be able to pull that off. The beggar is watching from the side there, and the veteran goes down. An interesting little upset there, but it looks like the man-at-arms boss might make short work of him. Big hits back and forth, big hits back and forth. A slice on someone, I'm not sure from who. Oof. The commoner's just barely not getting hit by that halberd from the soldier. The peasant is dead. The peasant's taking a spread eagle look. The Planson is writhing on the ground in pain. Ugh, a nice thrust from the soldier. But yet again, we see an issue from these armored guys. They get too timid, while the unarmored guys really are not. A big hit on the knee there. Oh, and a slice on the back of the neck, but he's still not done yet. He's got another hit on the head. He's dazed. And a hit on the thigh. It looks like he's going down, and that's going to be the end of the commoner boss. And it looks like the man-at-arms boss is threatening the beggar boss outside. Well, that was a bit expected, but of course, the veteran did go down, so not a flawless victory from them. And now the moment has come. The Baron versus the Knight. Now, the Knight has some pretty decent odds here. He seems to be extremely defensive and is willing to let a fight go on for far longer than it should. But will he be able to withstand the Baron's poleaxe? If he gets one good knock with that poleaxe, he can win this fight pretty handily and pretty damn quick as well. But we'll have to see as we commence the final fight to see the greatest boss in Half Sword. And so without further ado, here we have the fight for the best boss in Half Sword. Let's get it on. Immediately a strong start from both of them. Now I expect this fight could last for quite some time because of how slow both of these fighters are. But if a Baron can deliver a nasty hit with that poleaxe, he could end this relatively quickly. And of course, if the Knight can maintain a grip on his axe, he could also probably get a nice little knockout if he pops him in the head or slides into one of those shoulders. But the Baron's pretty well armored. A tit for tat, both feeling each other out. Now, both these guys are extremely defensive, but a big hit there from the Baron on the noggin. But we've seen that before with the soldier. Let's not get too excited. The Baron does seem to be taking a bit more of a hitting route, not really thrusting at all. Those big hits can really take down the Knight if he wants it to. But once he goes down, he's going to have to finish it off. And another hit there. Every little hit seems to be damaging him. He's twisted up with the poleaxe, but he's gotten his arms untwisted, thankfully. Every little movement from the Baron around the Knight knocks him over almost, and we have a knockdown! We have a knockdown already! He is on the ground. Has he given up? He has not given up yet. Oh! Do we have a winner already? He is going after him. I think I'm going to have to call it. I'm going to have to call it. I don't know, though. Can he get up? Oh, he's trying. He's trying his best. He's trying his best to get up. He's slithered out. He's back up. He's got his sword out. I'm going to let him have it. I'm going to let him have it. He went limp there for a second, but I will say that he at least maintained some form of consciousness. He's able to get back up and fight. Let's see. He has not said sway me kindness yet, but he might very soon, and he's on the ground again in a very submissive position. He's taking the fetal position. He's screaming. You gotta say, he's got the will to fight. But will it last him? Of course, if he knocks away the Baron's poleaxe, no way! He got it in his side! He got him in his side. He just threw the sword into the Baron's armpit. The Knight wins! The Knight wins! Again, I think that's gonna be a controversial win there, because some people might say mrzacnono, the referee, let the fight go on too long. But we have a winner. He has taken down the Baron via sliding that sword right into the armpit. Let's get a nice little close-up on this. Let's see exactly where the sword entered. It entered in just beautifully through the armor there. You can see it just sliding through. The knight has won and is officially the best boss in Half Sword. I didn't expect this. I didn't expect, frankly speaking, the Baron to get this far into the tier as well, but he did. And both men have fought well, but officially, the knight is the best boss in Half Sword. An upset and definitely a controversial ending. But for me and Papa Baron here, this has been the Half Sword Fight Club. But I hope you all have enjoyed this video. I know certainly Papa Baron has, haven't you? So true, Mr. Baron. Thank you all for watching. I want to thank you to my members. I want to thank you for getting through this. And I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you all again in the next video. Bye-bye, everybody.